I see. And who sent you? And why? Just as I suspected. And how exactly... Of course. We have taken the liberty of stripping you of your belongings. If you'll excuse me for a moment, please. A silver plate. I see. They were sent to spy on us.
Then let's kill them.
No. She was honest, and I am a man of my word. And actually... Actually, you have done us a favor. We can use the plates to present Aranthiel with our offer, without putting ourselves in danger.
What? How? What are these plates?
Old artifacts of the Pyreans. Their magic works like a sort of ear conch. Sounds are transferred from one plate to the other. And I strongly suspect that at this very moment, Taelor Aranthiel and Noratzel's traitorous heirs are gathered around the counterpart, waiting for someone to activate this plate. Aren't they? Samael, do you know how to use these plates? Excellent. Then activate it. I will talk to old Aranthiel. Let's hope that he will listen for once in his life. Otherwise, this will end in disaster. Taelor Aranthiel. I know that you are there and that you can hear me, so why don't we just stop playing games? As you wish, Grand Master. You can keep quiet, but you should be aware of who's going to pay for your arrogance.
Haven't you had enough war by now? After 2 decades?
2 decades of war that were necessary because your gods suppressed the people. Or would you deny even this?
Is that why you wanted to talk to me, Quarek? To throw around accusations?
No, that's not what I wanted. We are talking because I want to give you a chance. We know that you are fighting the High Ones, and that you're trying to reconstruct the beacon in order to stop them.
Which makes perfect sense, since the cleansing means the end of all life. Don't you agree?
No, I don't. And if you even remotely understood who the High Ones actually are, and what they represent, you wouldn't either. They are evolution, the ascendance of humanity to a higher level.
What?
Let's just face the facts for a moment. There's no evidence that the cleansing, whatever shape it will take, will be violent. Yes, the Pyreans are gone, but how do we know they've not just simply gone to another place? That they've transformed? The High Ones are not our enemies, Aranthiel. They are the next step of evolution, the envoys of our purpose, that we might become more than the simple-minded creatures we've been during the past millennia. This is what the cleansing actually is. Don't you understand? It's the moment when humanity is relieved of its vices, united, reaching a higher level of existence.
That's absurd.
To you, it might sound that way, but I have seen it with my own eyes. Ever since the gods departed, the High Ones have sent me dreams in which I can see the future, and it's glorious. It's not our destiny to stay human, Aranthiel. With their help, we will be gods, true gods, not the idols you have worshipped. It's the truth, whether you accept it or not.
Either. People are dying, Quarek. There's war all over Veen. The dead are rising from their graves, and people are killing each other for no apparent reason. Whatever you have dreamed, does this look like some kind of ascension to you?
I know about the Red Madness, but has it ever occurred to you that it follows a pattern as well? That it only befalls certain people?
Whom?
People whose thinking is in shackles. People whose minds are not free, and who are superstitious and ignorant. Such as the people in your country, to whom you have denied the truth about their gods.
What? Are you saying that the Red Madness only affects Religious people? People who still believe in the Lightborn?
Yes. Religiosity is a pattern of thought that favors irrationality over reason. Someone who thinks in these patterns is simply not ready for the advancement, and the Red Madness is simply a way to sift them out. A natural selection, if you will. That's also why you are not affected by it, Aranthiel, because you know that what you and your order fought so hard to keep up over the years were lies.
This is nonsense. There have been cases of Red Madness in the Order too, and we have seen what the cleansing will bring us in the dreams and in their chronicles, and it has nothing to do with some kind of ascension. Just listen to yourself, Korek. You talk like a mad prophet. Is that what you want to be?
You react just as I expected. Very well then. Will you at least hear our offer?
Speak.
The cleansing has to happen, and we, the free peoples of Nerim, will make sure that it does. We will not allow your backward thinking to keep humanity from advancing, as it has done for centuries. Therefore, if you don't want a war, you will stop rebuilding the beacon, and you will tell your people the truth about their gods, so that then they, too, can ascend when the time has come. You've said it yourself, Aranthiel. This world has had enough war. Spare it yet another one.
I would if I could, but if these are your demands, then no.
Then we will have to force you. This means bloodshed, Aranthiel, and innocents will die, and all because...
This conversation is over.
Bloody fool. Alma, prepare the attack. He asked for it.
Yes, my lord. What will happen to the prisoners?
The spies. Right. We're at war now, and this means you're my enemies. But as I said, I am a man of my word, and so I'll leave your fate to chance. Samael, put her to sleep, and then put her and her friend on a raft. If they survive, so be it. If not, fair enough.
Well, well, look who's here. How are you doing, silly? Still on the search? Is that so? Honestly, I find that a little hard to believe. But I guess you know what you're doing, don't you? You always did. Come on, let's go inside. I prepared a little surprise. Or should I say a big one? I suppose that depends on how you look at it. Ta-da-da-da! Look who I dug out. It's Mother and little sister. Aren't they beautiful?
Aren't we beautiful? Aren't we beautiful?
But I suppose what we dead people do doesn't concern you now, does it, my child? Because you are important now. Ha! Can you believe it? She's important. She is chosen.
Chosen. Chosen.
But you know, I think you've forgotten something amidst all this ballyhoo of prophecies, cleansings, and beacons. That you are weak. You are pathetic. You are worthless. And you are weak. That's what you were back then. That's what you are now. And that's what you'll always be. Saving lives? You? Ridiculous! But then again, maybe we do you wrong. So why don't you just tell us? Why you? Why should you, of all people, be the solution to the problem? Why should you be able to prevent something that has happened to me? That's right. You don't know. Because you are a stupid, dirty brat. A murdering, stupid brat and nothing else. See? You did it again. You made me unhappy. You made me curse. And cursing is a sin. Don't you understand? I'm only trying to help you to see. This is not you, don't you understand? You are not yourself. And deep down inside, you know it as much as I do.
You know it. You know it.
So, tell me, silly, why is it so hard for you to just let go? Your place is here, in the realm of the dead. So just let yourself fall. It only hurts in the beginning, you know? Then it's like falling asleep. Please, my child, we miss you so much. Little sister wants to play with you again.
Play with you. Play with you.
And the two of us, we could go hunting again, like back in the old days. Find ourselves a nice deer, and then have a good, juicy piece of meat for dinner. Can you even listen to me? Hey, you're not supposed to leave yet. You're already here. So why don't you just stay? Please, child, stay with us. 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 Stay with us.
Stay with me. Hey, can you hear me? Wake up. Bad dreams? A lot. We got damn lucky. That raft Korak put us on was about as seaworthy as a paper ship. But thank the sun, that fisherwoman over there took us in. She's headed for Duneville, and we should arrive soon. Couple of hours. That spell Korak's mute buddy put on you must have been quite a doozy. They felt a blow to the back of the head would suffice for me. Guess I was the lucky one. Yeah. That guy should really go easier on the bottle, if you ask me. But it seems that the thousands who follow him see things differently. As if the high ones alone weren't threat enough. Now they have a self-proclaimed messiah to back them up. That's just peachy. Well, as I heard it, he thinks the cleansing is evolution. We become higher beings. We ascend to a new level of existence, so to speak. And he thinks the reason for the red madness in Enderal is that people still haven't learned the truth about the death of the Lightborn. They're still superstitious, so the sickness weeds them out. Natural selection. And yeah, it sounds absurd. I guess people always see what they want to see. I'm afraid so. According to the fisherwoman, the first of Korak's battleships have already arrived near Duneville. It'll take them a while to get the rest of their fleet over here from Narim, but still. Enderal isn't ready for this. Not at all. Most guards haven't tried their weapons on anything other than training dummies, or at the most, bandits. In other words, we're screwed. Well, I guess first of all, we should be grateful we made it out alive. I bet that if Korak would have known your role in all this, we'd be as dead as doornails by now. Once we arrive in Duneville, we should get back to Ark as soon as possible. I'm sure Arenthiel and the others have already written us off as dead. I suggest you ask the fisherwoman how much farther it is to the village. Well, I suppose first of all I'll go get my pay. Regardless of what transpired, we fulfilled our mission. After that, I don't know. War is an entirely different story, and ending up beaten to a pulp with a damned warhammer certainly isn't on my priority list. Maybe. The Order might be powerful here in Enderal, but compared to Narim's army, it's a joke. And maybe... On the other hand, if we don't manage to stop the cleansing from happening, it won't make a difference if I'm here or on Calais. Oh, my, what did I get myself into? I feel like a bloody marionette in a goddamn play. It is. Even though the Calais beach would probably be better for my health than joining your cause. Enemy invasions, mysterious corpses. You seem to attract trouble wherever you go, as we've seen more than once now. You know, there's one thing I just couldn't get out of my head since all this started. Does mankind deserve to be saved? I mean, have we as a species really made this world a better place? What have we accomplished apart from bloodbaths and wars in the name of the true gods or the right way to see things? And even now that we have a common enemy, we fail spectacularly to pull together. That's pathetic somehow, isn't it? Just pathetic. Heck, I sound like the biggest cynic alive. Let's stop here before it gets any worse. Go talk to the fisherwoman. You're really curious, aren't you? But yes, there is something that troubles me apart from the obvious. It's my sister. Well, I told you that we haven't talked much since... You know, since a couple of moons before we met. I wanted to change that, and I went to see her at the League of the Apothecary in the Frostcliff Mountains. But she was gone, just like that, and no one knew where she went. It's been troubling me for quite some time now. It's probably nothing, but still, I'm worried. Huh?
Ah, you're awake. How are you? No offense, but you look battered. Don't thank me. I only did what every other path-abiding citizen would have done as well. Your friend, he told me about the Naramese. War. I have trouble believing it. Oh, how very reassuring to hear that. But I guess we're well off in Duneville. As long as they don't break through the cavern gate, there's no way they can get inside the town. Of course, that doesn't apply to the plantations and mines. Oh, blazes. Such chaos. Those bloody Naramese. Nothing is sacred to them anymore, is it? For millennia there was peace between the lands of the civilized world. And now this. They're heretics, if you ask me. No more and no less. They should be hung from trees, all of them. Anyway, I guess it's best if you rest a little more. As I said, you look as though you need it. I'll wake you up when we arrive. I will do our best. I didn't think I'd ever say this, but right now I'd give a lot for the Art Guard to be here instead of these Duneville watchdogs. At least they know how to wage a war. In any case, you should get back to the Sun Temple as soon as possible and show those Neremese bastards whose country this is.
We will. And again, thanks for your help.
Don't mention it.
So, we should be back within range of the teleport runes. I'm gonna head straight back to the temple. See you there.
Safe travels.
Saira, good to see you. I heard about what happened on Half Moon Island. It's a wonder you and that mercenary made it back alive. But war, it just seems so unreal. How has it come to this? Now we not only have to fight these High Ones, but also some fanatic who thinks he knows best? If they are, then maybe we were foolish to think that the Red Madness is the only weapon at their disposal. Tell me, Saira, how is it possible that our beliefs about what's best for mankind are so different? Why are we so eager to be at each other's throats? I'm not sure. You know what I find so hard to understand? Why there are so few people who actually care. So few people who feel the need to change something like you and I do. There are moments I just feel so powerless. As if we all know that if we keep going like this, we're headed for a catastrophe. But instead of changing course, we just stand by and watch. Do you know the feeling? Yes, I mean, is it so hard to see that this world could be such a better place if we'd only care a tiny bit more about something other than what's happening in front of our doorsteps? You understand what I'm trying to say, don't you? You know that feeling too.
Hello, brother. Did you hear the news? This strange machine. The Grandmaster talked about it.
I thought so. Whenever I think about it, I find it so hard not to get angry. Take all those upper city snobs with their colorful garments. They could put all that money to such good use if only they wanted to, but no. Sometimes I imagine going down there, grabbing one of them by the collar and dragging them down into the Undercity. And there I'd force them to see, just for once. But even that probably wouldn't help. I guess we only care about the things that directly affect us. Who fights against poverty if he's never suffered from it?
Connected to the site, and apparently she knows how to fight like Roland Waterblade does, even though she had no formal training. No, it is true. Sigil Barabatar saw it himself. Her aura has something odd, eclectic.
And once again, you've had to listen to another deluge of my whining. I guess I'm just not a person for pleasantries. Sorry.
Well, apparently she really is talented. I suppose the Grandmaster sent her because she passed her trial together with the Outlander. It has a habit of bonding people, as you probably know.
Yes, that, might be the case.
He does. That man is
Saira,
he might
I have to ask you something. You said these things to me. Why?
I don't want to take up more of your time. I'll
I
see what the ceremony.
see. Well, I don't think that would be a good idea, and I'd like for you to stop saying things like that. I'm the wrong person for what you're looking for. Now, excuse me. Quark's ships will reach shore soon, and we have to be prepared.
Prophetess.
But that's ridiculous. We have to at least try to negotiate.
You know his demands. There's no basis for negotiation.
He has not seen what we have seen. The writings, the memories of the prophetess. If he just realized...
Madams,
Korik would rather
my
throw
sirs.
away his comb. That had been a mistake.
Shit.
Believe me,
What
I
took you
know
so
him.
long? And where is Constantine?
That's a long story.
Transcribe verse 80 100 times. The sky can rain fire. Magisters never
And those
change.
were his final words? I can't believe it.
Simply another victim of the High One.
Pathlessness.
If we do
wherever
not
you look,
activate the beacon soon,
where
he
is
won't
this
be the
supposed
last.
to lead?
Oh, right, the beacon. If it's activated, we'll simply glow the red madness away, won't we? Or maybe we could, for once in all this, do something that actually makes sense, and focus our resources on finding an alchemistical or thaumaturgical solution to this problem, rather than
Let's hope he
trusting in a
knows
pile
what
of
he's
scrap
doing.
metal.
Oh, by the prophet's ass, won't you just shut up for a minute? All day long you do nothing but babble, getting on our nerves, and nothing you ever say gets any closer to a fucking solution. So why don't you just shove off to one of the bathhouses? Go torture the washerwomen with your never-ending lamentations. That would be helpful for a change.
You will take that back.
Will I? Come here and make me. I'd be delighted.
Blasphemy!
Guard your tongue,
This is blasphemy!
wild mage, or...
Or what? Are you gonna kill me? That's what you do best, you and your fucking order.
Silence!
That's the prophetess, isn't it?
You are angry, Lishari Pegast, and I understand why. But in the moment you let that anger destroy this alliance, Firespark's sacrifice will have been in vain. Is that what you want? Is that what you want?
No. No, it isn't.
Good. I am tired of this endless bickering. We have a responsibility, and we will fulfill it.
Well said, Aranthiel.
Well,
and how
that's
exactly
just
do
how
you
he
think we are
is.
going to do
Always
that?
talking
Without the sources, the beacon is as worthless as a heap of rusty iron.
The Chroniclers are on it, and they will find the answer. Novice, tell Commander Aaron to join us. We need to plan the defense of the land. You, Prophetess, will speak to me as soon as you have recovered. Now, let us get to work.
Oh, well.
A machine
The sun
that
be
can
praised
banish
you've made
these
it.
high ones. The
Constantine.
mysteries of this world are
He
endless,
didn't deserve
aren't
this.
they?
It's just not fair. Someone is gonna pay for it. I'll see to that. I have to talk to you as soon as possible. It's about the seal in that letter we found on the mercenaries in Old Rashengrad. I believe I'm onto something. Their client is from
Let's
Enderal.
hope he knows what he's
From
doing.
Ark, to be more precise. Let's not talk here, though. Meet me in the Dancing Nomad. I'll be in the first room upstairs, right at the end of the staircase. And hurry. Well, come to the Dancing Nomad.
Wherever you look.
See you there.
Where is this supposed to lead?
Now look at that. It's the Prodigy.
That's how he is. Always talking.
Mena Shalom, prophetess. I greet you.
prodigy, huh? Apparently we owe you for the shards of this sigil stone. I didn't think I would ever say this, but thank you.
Irrelevant. This madman, Koarek. He has completely reshuffled the cards. Now we not only have to deal with the High Ones, but also with him and his fanatics. However, there's also good news. You have probably seen it already. Physically, yes. And we also know how it works now. And how it can put an end to the cycle. It is easier than we thought. The beacon was constructed for one thing, to destroy the High Ones. Once reconstructed, infused with energy and activated, lit, as the Pyreans called it, it can banish the High Ones from this plane of existence. Immaterial, indeed. Essentially, they can be compared to the cold or to shadows. Omnipresent elements, yet we cannot touch them. Energy, if you will. However, there is a counterpart to each energy. Cold and fire, shadow and light. The High Ones and the beacon. Yes. Imagine a torch driving away the darkness in the moment it is ignited. This is what the beacon can do, except that the banishing will be permanent. Yes, as I said, it needs to be infused with energy before it can be lit. I take it you have noticed the 3 sockets on its base. They are what it draws its power from. Once they are filled, the beacon can be ignited and the High Ones will be undone, once and for all. At least, if the old writings are true. The only thing left for us to find out is what these energy sources are. But we are close. Give the Arcanists some more time and I will let you know if there's any news. In the meantime, get equipped accordingly. Some of the Neremes have landed already, and outbreaks of the Red Madness become more and more frequent as we speak. Well, it's only fair to tell you. You've always been honest to me, so I will do the same. Have you ever heard of the Night of the Thousand Fires? Between 8,192 and 8,202, there was an underground movement in Kira called the Red Half Moon. They were brought into being by a group of intellectuals and philosophers who, under all the freedom of thought Saldrine granted them, started questioning the reign of the Golden Queen, and thus the Lightborn themselves. Saldrine saw himself as the god of knowledge, and accordingly he reigned his country. In Kira, no opinion is forbidden, which is why it is home to countless magic schools and universities, where people do nothing but discuss the reason for being all day long. An appealing thought if you hear it for the first time, but a cunning people isn't easy to rein. There have been more revolts and riots in Kira than bones in a graveyard, and the Red Half Moon was the worst of them. Correct, just as my son did. But other than him, they fought like cowards. Terror, dust crystals planted in the marketplaces, and assassinations, you name it. If they killed innocents, they blamed the Golden Queen, and if they killed her soldiers, they celebrated themselves as liberators. However, they never succeeded in putting her down, and neither did she in destroying them, which is why the court turned to the Lightborn for help. A division of the Holy Order led by me, a young keeper of barely 30 winters. None to be taken seriously. You know, not everywhere is the Order as present as here on Enderal, or as it once was on Narim. In Kira, we were ridiculed. I saw the Kiranian keepers who served the Golden Queen. A bunch of decadent gluttons who had dedicated themselves to the court's banquets rather than to the will of the gods. They were pathetic. A moon after our arrival, we received an anonymous tip on where one of the half-moon spaces was supposed to be located, in a small coastal village. As we entered it, we were greeted by the township's elders, and the villagers themselves had gathered behind them. You should have seen how they stared at us, as if we were plunderers. I should have seen by then that something was wrong. Yes, but if there was one thing the Red Half-Moon was good at, it was sowing lies. According to them, we were nothing but butchers who executed everyone unable to recite the Revelation word for word. That's what they wanted us to think, and they did a good job at that. A veiled person here, an archer on the rooftops there. I got nervous, because villagers or not, they bested us in numbers, and they had kettled us. Then a man seemed to charge at us, and I gave the order to draw weapons. It was just the spark they needed. No, not a fight. A massacre. The villagers had pitchforks and shepherd staffs, and we had shadow steel swords, let alone the fact that we were trained warriors. I realized that I had made a mistake a split second after it started, but it was too late by then. My men, they slaughtered them all, like pigs. At the end of the day, 300 people were dead, and only 10 of them were keepers. Well, what better proof of the Lightborn's cruelty is there than a division of keepers who, out of pure wickedness, slaughtered an entire village, women, children included. If the people had already distrusted us before that distrust had turned into hatred, then nothing could have changed that, not even the Golden Queen's heralds. We set sail back to Enderal a week later. 2 years after that, the Red Half-Moon destroyed itself due to infighting. Ironic, isn't it? Maybe. The Lightborn and the Grandmaster back at that time showed the compassion I wouldn't grant myself. But I learned one thing, and that is that I will never again let fears about my own life influence my decisions. What happened in Kira was the consequence of my own cowardice, and my unwillingness to give my life for a just cause. That will never happen again. What? Really? That's interesting. Provided this is true, that means that the emissaries aren't just people who fight the cleansing. They are people who fight for it too. And that also means that whoever granted us our powers and our purpose isn't an enemy of the High Ones, but a neutral party. I beg your pardon. What? And the same goes for me? That's ridiculous. They wanted to deceive you, to sow discord. I saw the threat the cleansing posed before anyone else did. And without me, we would have never come that far. Something changed inside me since I fled from my prison. I feel it. And it is the same thing that made you a part of all this. Now, enough of this.
Prophetess.
Be careful, my Dane. The streets aren't safe at this hour.
Walk blessed. Looking for steel? I can provide. My Dane.
Move along. That's just how they are.
Some people just don't know their path.
That's just how it is. Everything was better in the old days.
May your path always be even.
Yes, you should go into the Whisperwood and see what you can find in the old quarters. I'll wait for you at the city in my laboratory.
Huh?
Oh, yes, of course it's
Some people just don't know their
Really need
path.
a little essence for my hair. Potatoes gone. Yeah, that should be it.
Malfash's blessings. A southerner? Yeah, she did. Bit gruff, but she's a pretty thing. What'd you ask? Did she do something wrong?
That should be it.
Really?
Just wonder if I put it-
Maybe she's sleeping.
Try again later. A little bit of this and that. Why not take a look? May your path always be eaten.
Potatoes, garlic, radish. Yeah, that should be it.
Prophetess, are you in there? There are... Kirash, what? Why? What have you done? What? No. I will not accept this. I will not accept this, damn it! Forgive me. This is simply too much. Yes, I know, Nea. But she was a good woman. We both know that we're not involved in this. So please tell me why you and Lashari wanted to meet up here. I wasn't aware Lashari liked women, too. So why? What? Then this bastard got wind of it. Oh, Kirash, Lashari, why the secrecy? Maybe the murderer has left a clue. We have to search. What's this? Let me see. Yes! This could be our clue. No, certainly not. But come to think about it, it doesn't really help us either. There are so many dust addicts in Ark, it would take years just to count them. Oh, by the name of the sun, I will inform the Order. Yes, you do that. But come back to the temple as soon as you're finished, all right? The Archmagister has found something out about those sources we need for the beacon, even though he paid a high price for it.
No bed. So.
Hmm? Oh, yes, of course you'd say that. Well, that's just how he is. Always talking.
Potatoes, garlic, radish. Yeah, that should be it.
My days.
Look at that. A fellow traveler.
A fellow traveler? You have? Well, sure. Let me see. Or tell me what you need.
Walk blessed.
Oh well. How am I supposed to pay that much? Bloody cutthroats.
The fabled prodigy. I hope you can live up to what they say about you. I really do.
You. I heard you passed the trial without going to the novitiate. Congratulations, I guess. The Grand Master must think highly of you.
Ah, if it isn't the prophetess. What's wrong? You look troubled.
Yes. One day.
Yes, that just might work.
One day.
I know. Shah Rim has already told me. I hardly knew her, but it's horrible. Different ideologies or not, she was a fine young mage, and her knowledge of the Pyreans was impressive. We need to find the ones who did this, and fast. But you probably already know that. Thank Malphus we just had a breakthrough with the beacon. At least as far as the sockets go, yes. In the old tablets you found in old Dothrugrat, there's talk of black embers, which are supposed to be some kind of energy supply for the machine. This is what we've been asking ourselves over the past few weeks, and then it fell like pelt from our eyes. The Pyreans were talking about the Black Pearls. Old jewels, sometimes known as Blackstones. They appeared for the first time in the Golden Era, and every self-important noble literally fought to get one in his possession. Apparently they originated from Stormwind, the old city in the heart of Octwind. They changed owners for decades, sometimes by violence, sometimes by gold. The whole thing only stopped when the owners took note of an undesirable side effect, if you like.
Yeah, as if.
No, at least not with any known magic. And that's what's so strange about it. Nevertheless, all of their owners eventually shared the same fate. Countess Catua from Nerim, for example, whose castle burnt down to its foundations. According to a survivor of this tragedy, she was to blame for that. He claimed that he saw her the night it happened, laughing hysterically and dancing in the dining room and summoning waves of fire all around her. She was not previously known to have any magical talent in her. Correct. Plus, all of them eventually showed similar symptoms of delusion, like those possessed by the Red Madness do. A peculiar coincidence, if you ask me. Not quite.
Those who owned a pearl tried to get rid of it, or lock it up somewhere safe, and eventually they fell into oblivion. Tell her your theory, Archmagister.
Yes, of course. We believe the stones carry energy, pure, uncontrolled magic, and that the High Ones use them for their own purposes. Correct. The Pearl's magic make their owners powerful, but the High Ones befoul them, so to speak. Like a poisoned potion. I know it sounds odd, but the parallels are too striking to ignore. The red shimmer in the victim's eyes, the slow descent into madness, and ultimately this irrational, destructive act of violence.
Wherever you look, where is this supposed to lead?
That's what we thought too, but it seems we were wrong. Maybe the High Ones never leave our planes at all, even after the cleansing. Maybe they are even part of this world, just like the tides or the elements. And the death of the gods is only what really sets them rolling, so to speak.
Yes, it makes sense.
That's what we think, yes. Nothing else in this world possesses that much raw power.
Which is why you will find them for us. No, because we know what we are dealing with. Unlike those who fell victim to the stones.
That's beyond me.
Imagine them as a powerful, magical sword. A fool won't know how to wield it and will eventually cut himself with it. A seasoned warrior, however, can use its power for his purposes. Which doesn't mean, however, that we will be careless with them. What we need is their energy, and once we have transferred that to the beacon, their shells will be useless to the High Ones. Correct. That's right. But we don't need all of them. The beacon has 3 sockets, and that is how many of the stones we will acquire. Archmagister.
I studied the history of the pearls as a young arcanist, and I think that my notes might give you some hints as to where you should start looking. Give me until tomorrow. By then I will have prepared the relevant excerpts. Just come to me whenever you have questions.
And hurry. I take it you have already noticed this, but Nerimi's troops are roaming our land and building outposts, and the Red Madness is also getting worse as we speak. Now go, Prophet. The sooner we find these stones, the better. Yes. I have been told. It is a great loss for our cause. You were the one who found her, weren't you? Why was she in the tavern? And how did you know where to find her? And she did not say anything else? That was foolish. Here in the temple, the murderer would not have had such an easy time. And whatever it was she found out, she took it to the grave with her. Now we are back at the beginning. I will ensure that she gets a proper funeral. Commander Aaron will take care of the investigation. Yes. As I said before, my knowledge about that is limited. But if it helps you, yes. You know, most people perceive the dark corners of a moment where you knew exactly what another person... Correct. And while most people hardly feel this connection at all, as if their bodies might be, but the traces they left behind... This is the basic principle of magic. Visions, premonitions, dreams that become reality. These are all leftovers. Good question. In their writing, the Pyreans say it has existed for ages. The Pyreans didn't, and neither did. But as for what happened before that, our knowledge of that depends on whom you... A better word would be chess figures with their own will. Whatever force causes the cycle also gave us powers and a task.
Hello.
But fulfilling that task is our own responsibility.
That's beyond me. Let's hope he knows what he's doing.
What?
Oh, hey.
The fabled prodigy. I hope you can live up to what they say about you. I really do. Yes.
Oh, hey.
Oh, there you are. Did you find it?
Yes, here. But be careful, okay? Manage to rag on it and have us flay the life out of it.
I will. Don't worry. Did you hear the news? This woman who's been wandering around the temple most recently? Lucar told me that the Grand Master believes she could help find a cure for this red madness.
Red madness? You mean...
Magister Yaron, yes.
Why now, Kiss? Did you really need to remind... that.
Well, it doesn't help to just close our eyes and pretend nothing ever happened. Even the Archangel said this is not an ordinary disease.
Ahoy!
But still, I think they're holding back. They never trust us novices with the full truth here. I guess we're not as good as this outlet.
Yes.
You. Good to see you.
What?
One day, Nea. One day.
The prodigy, huh? Apparently we owe you for the shards of this sigil stone. I didn't think I
Hello.
would ever say this, but thank you.
Ah, yes. Here. There they are. I've marked the most relevant parts, so you don't have to read the entire book. Just see if they tell you anything that could give you a clue as to where you should start searching. I will be waiting at the beacon.
Pathlessness, wherever you look. Where is this supposed to lead?
Is it now? Remind me not to burst into tears.
The fabled prodigy. I hope you can live up to... They say about you. I really do.
Well met. Hear my words, O path-abiding people of this holy
You're an
city.
outlander, aren't you? You don't know?
From this day
And,
on,
and did I forget? Show me. Our first replica? Here. I think this should properly reward you for your efforts. Take your pick.
they have led their warships into our holy waters and landed on our coasts.
Hungry for
It is not but blood that
Good.
they are looking for.
It is a now, in the name of our guild, it was a pleasure doing business with you. I will contact you if we once again require your services.
Do you
More
need a
blessings.
potion to... Sure, take a look. Walk blessed.
May your path always be even.
Be
Yeah?
wary of their words.
No, I just put them out for you to look at. Tell me what you need, and be quick about it.
And with their guidance, the Holy Order shall crush the Neremese heretics.
Walk blessed.
Walk blessed. It's good to see you.
Hmm?
In al bed, sir.
Yes, you should go into the Whisperwood and see what you can find in the old fortress. I'll wait for you in the Undercity, in my laboratory.
That pretty boy, you mean? Aye. He was here yesterday, all night long, with some noblewoman. Haven't seen him since, though. He looked a little battered, if you ask me. You know him well? I see. You know what? If you're looking for him anyway, could you give him this once you find him? A courier brought it along a few hours ago. Aye. A young woman, apparently. Maybe one of his beloved, who knows. Seemed urgent, though. Anyway, I need to get back to work. I'll tell the guy you were looking for him if he comes back.
Yeah. You should go into the Whisperwood and see what you can find in the old fortress. I'll wait for you in the Undercity, in my laboratory.
I, Boreal Oakenvale, hereby confess my sins. For decades, I abducted children from the Undercity and locked them in this basement. I defiled them, let them starve, and then sold them to the highest bidders, who, like me, were all...
I, Captain Yanu Orai, hereby confess my sins. For decades, I imprisoned men and women from all continents of Vin and sold them to the highest bidders. 462 men.
I, Ilaria Nettlegrass, hereby confess my sins. For years I murdered under the moniker of the Black Widow. Man or woman, young or old, it didn't matter as long as the pay was right. Never was I brought to justice for my crimes, for I always knew how to outwit the law. I am a despicable creature, without mind or compassion, no better than a rabid animal.
They just sit on their asses. Yeah. It's just how they are.
Oh well.
Greetings!
Madame? Yes?
You just wait and see. Fucking sissy.
Again. Come on, take a seat.
Well. Yes, you should go into the Whisperwood and see what you can find in the old fortress. I'll wait for you in the Undercity, in my laboratory.
My Daniel.
Is it important?
Malfash's blessings. Come back anytime.
Walk blessed. It's good to see you.
He no dead. Sorry.
Yeah, as if.
Well, that's just
Some people just don't know their path.
That should be it.
Yes, you should go into the Whisperwood and see what you can find in the old fortress. I'll wait for you in the Undercity, in my laboratory.
Yes, of course you'd say that.
Hard times these are. She right. Some people just don't know their path.
Potatoes gone. Radish. Yeah, that should be it.
You? Why are you here?
We always go too easy on the scum.
What? No. Don't worry about it. I just needed some air. You know, I've had this question in my head for quite some time now, and I can't figure out the answer to it. Okay. Imagine a girl. Ever since she was a child, she's been abused by her father. Beaten, in other words. She grows to be a woman, and eventually her father dies. Then she falls in love with a man who has a lot of similarities with her father. She doesn't know why she loves him, but she does. And though it all seems nice in the beginning, he becomes more and more aggressive, starts screaming at her for no reason, until one day he too grabs the cane she knows all too well. Now, the question. On a very conceptual level, who is responsible for the situation the woman's in? Her companion because he abuses her? The woman herself because she unconsciously picked a man similar to her father? Or her father because he was the one who beat her in the first place? That's the comfortable answer. But doesn't that rid us of any kind of, I don't know, responsibility? Doesn't it make us slaves to our past? I don't know. No particular reason, I suppose. Anyway, you said you were looking for me. What's wrong? What, so the Archmagister really believes we Delverics owned one of those stones? I would have known that. Believe me, I've snuck inside our manor's treasure chamber more than once, and there was no black stone whatsoever. Not in the least, no. Setting aside the fact that what you're describing is bloody spooky, I don't have the slightest idea who might have an interest in sending me on this morbid paper chase through Ark. Either whoever did this has mistaken me for someone else, or we're dealing with a seriously disturbed individual. Yeah, I already suspected as much, but still, it doesn't change the fact that I have no idea who might be behind this, and why he sent me this package and not, for example, the Ark Guard. No, none. That's... Wait. Could you show me those letters again? By the wise hermit, that's... No, that's not possible. These fragments, if you combine all of them, they make a sentence. Knock, knock, who's there? Come in alone, if only you dare. But... No, that doesn't make sense. I know that phrase from my childhood. Adela and me, it was our code when we snuck out of the house to go on one of our expeditions. Yes, but... No, that just doesn't make sense. Adela's an apothecarian, not a goddamn assassin. You said one of the corpses you found was a hired killer. How in blazes could my sister kill someone like that? And... why? Oh, come on, that's just bullshit. Even if the stone somehow gave her the power to do this, Adela wouldn't hurt a fly. Come on, I'll prove it to you. Meet me in Duneville. I'll take you to our hideout.
Move along.
Ah, there you are. Our old manor's in the desert, a few miles to the northwest from Duneville. It's quite a march, but doable. Eager to explore, aren't you? Take your time, I'll wait. I can use a break anyway. Still alive? Good. Let's go. We shouldn't waste any more time. Nothing left but rubble. By the wise hermit, how long has it been since I was last here? Come on, we're almost there. Carts. They must belong to prospectors. And someone has found our little cave since then. Seems no secret can stay secret forever. Anyway, let's go on in. I'll prove to you this is all nonsense. Lost ones? If these are running free here, I suppose there's not much left of the diggers. Farther down, yeah. It belonged to an old landlord. When Adela and I came here, we always made sure the gate stayed shut. But someone, poor sods. There, up ahead. That's the clearing where Adela and I always went. If someone's waiting for us, then it'll be there. I don't think we should go down together. If Adela really is waiting down there, and I'm still not sure she is, I'm pretty confident she wants me to come alone, as our code said. So I suggest you stay hidden and cover my back. Look, I appreciate your concern, but this is my cave, and my sister we're talking about here. So we'll do this my way, or we won't do it at all. Just stay alert, and keep your weapon drawn if it makes you feel better. But I have to go down there by myself. You see that platform up ahead? This will get me down to the pit. You should take the path through the crypt, just down that tunnel a few steps back from here. Then stay hidden. This is all just a misunderstanding, I'm sure of it.
So you came. I have to admit, I didn't expect that.
Adela, so it's true. What is this? Why am I here? And what did you do to that man?
Still as forgetful as you were back then, aren't you, brother? To the circle, now! On your knees! Now look at him, Jaspar. Look at him carefully.
Valencio Duran. By the name of the sun.
The man who killed our family. Correct. You should have... What in blazes? I told you to come alone. What is this, Jaspar? Some kind of ambush? How... So you came. I have to admit, I didn't expect that.
Adela, so it's true. What is this? Why am I here? And what did you do to that man?
Still as forgetful as you were back then, aren't you, brother? To the circle, now! On your knees! Now look at him, Jaspar. Look at him carefully.
Valencio Duran. By the name of the sun.
The man who killed our family. Correct. You should have seen it. How he screamed and begged for mercy. Pathetic. But I'm afraid I've got bad news for you, Valencio. Never again. I'll make sure that you never again hurt anyone. And I'll enjoy it. Just as I'll enjoy what I'll do to all those who are up next.
Adela, please. This is ridiculous. You have no idea what you're saying, let alone what you're doing. Please, just...
I know damn well what I'm doing. Better than I ever did. I'll continue where Father had to stop. And I'll make them all pay. All these bastards who think they are above justice. I should have known you wouldn't understand. Just look at you, staring off into space and asking all these stupid questions. But you know what? I'm not here to justify myself. I'm here because I think that despite all you did, despite all you became, you deserve to witness justice as much as I do. To see this bastard pay for what he's done. And believe me, I will not make it quick.
The Black Stone. Oh, damn. Then it's really true.
You know of the stone?
Yes. Listen to me, Adela. Whatever you've done over the past months, you didn't do it of your own free will. The stone, it's evil, and it controls you.
What is this, Jaspar? One of your brilliant jokes? We Dalverics have had this stone for generations. Father, he lived this calling, but he failed to see what the stone really was. A gift of fate, a means for us to carry out our destiny, to bring justice to a world where there is none. But I saw, and I will use it.
No, you're seeing this wrong. The stone, it's cursed. It wants you to... Shit, damn it, I just don't know what to say.
Surprise, Jaspar. You never did. But it doesn't matter now. Go, Jaspar. I've changed my mind. I got sentimental. Thought I owed you this, but I really don't. You don't understand me, just as you never understood Father. And listening to you talk makes me remember why I kept away from you all these years. Just look at what you've become, running around and working for the kind of people Father tried to bring down. Treasure hunter. You're a thug. You might as well just as spit on Father's grave.
All right. This is getting us nowhere. You obviously think you know what you're doing, but you don't. Which is why you'll now give me the stone. Before it'll make you do something you'd regret.
What?
The Black Stone. You'll give it to me. Something bad's about to happen, and without it, we won't be able to stop it. You can keep doing whatever it is that you do, but you'll have to do it without magic. I'm sorry if this isn't what you wanted to hear.
So, this is why you really came. You want the stone for yourself. What did they pay you, Jaspar, huh?
What? No!
Go!
Adela,
Go!
As you wish. I'm sorry.
You... What? Who are you? I know. I guess I should have known he wouldn't have come alone. He always had a problem with following instructions. So you are what? His sidekick? What will you do? Fight me? You know, of all the things I expected to happen, this never even crossed my mind. A speech, maybe. Some philosophical bullshit about why I shouldn't kill Valenzio, or some excuse why he didn't give a shit for me all those years. But no, even better. He doesn't give a damn about me. He came, yes, but because of the stone. Because some fucking snob hired him to get it from me. By the gods, what an idiot I was to believe otherwise for even a second. I don't know you, but if my brother showed you this place, he trusted you. And that means something. So I'll let you go. But if you make even one wrong move, I will crush you. And believe me, I am not joking. What I see is that for the first time in decades, I have perspective. A reason why I am still alive and my brothers and fathers aren't. If this is the stone manipulating me, then I'm grateful for it. With this power, the greater good. Sure. Don't say I didn't give you a choice. So you came. I have to admit, I didn't expect that.
Adela. So it's true. What is this? Why am I here? And what did you do to that man?
Still as forgetful as you were back then, aren't you, brother? To the circle, now! On your knees! Now look at him, Jaspar. Look at him carefully.
Valencio Duran. By the name of the sun.
The man who killed... What in blazes? I told you to come alone. What is this, Jaspar? Some kind of ambush? How could you, damn it? How could you?
No, no, no! Adela, you're taking this the wrong way! I have to...
Your turn.
Unexpectedly, death calls us to him. It is bitter, is it not? Unfair. You are angry because you blame me for the death of your friend. But I only did what had to be done. You are furious about the danger I brought upon you. But what would have happened if I hadn't been there in that ship? Let us dare a glimpse, prophetess. A glimpse into the reality which you prefer to this one. 3 hours after your brawl, Captain Rosio's ship enters the harbor of Ark. You wait until the noise falls silent, and together with your friend, you sneak onto the deck. And you almost make it. A few arms lengths from the safety of the dock, a sailor named Rajik takes note of your presence. There is no need for an explanation as to who you are. And maybe on a normal day, Rajik would have let you run. But not today. For years, he has been eagerly awaiting his promotion to become a petty officer of the 8th class. And yet today, it was announced that his loathed rival had won it instead of him. And how angry he is. How furious. And who knows? Maybe it is not too late. What better way to impress the captain than to be the one who discovers 2 stowaways who have eaten the crew's bread for a month? From there, it ends quickly. One sword for your neck, the other one for your friends, and no one to grant you a second life this time. But that is not what happened. The first beat of a wing, and where are you now? You have abilities others wouldn't even dare to dream of. You can hear the echo of the future, and you will make decisions whose extent even you will barely understand. So tell me, prophetess, isn't that a fate preferable to the other? You accuse me of lying, and your doubts are justified, for I cannot see the future. However, there is no need for that. All that is required is a glimpse beyond the surface, and suddenly it becomes clear that we are nothing but a sea of endless possibilities. And if one listens long enough, the shapeless takes on form, and the unfathomable becomes tangible. You wonder whether I belong to those whom you fight. But no, I do not. The High Ones, humanity, the emissaries. These are but elements of the game. I am more than that. You ask if I can see more than just this branch. And the answer is yes, I can. But considering what I am, that is not much of a feat. You wonder what I am, yet your question should not be what, but where. And the answer to this is everywhere. What you see right now is merely a splinter. You want to know if what threatens you threatens other realities too. And yes, it does. The cycle is a logical consequence born from the right circumstances. And these are not limited to your branch. You think my intention is to disconcert you, but you're wrong. I am here because you think it was I who took someone you cared for. And although you err, I do not like being seen as a destroyer. Which is why I will wipe away my debt, which was never there to begin with. Step back.
Farewell, prophetess. Maybe we will meet again. Maybe not.
That's my name. But... Adela... What happened? But... I only remember a flash of fire, and then... darkness. Everything's so... blurry. What? But... Okay, I'm sorry, but... this is all just a little too much. What happened? Him of the desert.
My dad.
What?
Oh. Oh, do you now? Well, at the risk of blowing your mind, my job is to keep folk like you out.
Life is what you make of it.
Now, what makes you think that you're any different?
Potatoes, garlic. Yeah, that should be it. A potion to cure.
Men like me. What's that supposed to mean?
Potatoes, garlic, radish. Yeah, that should be it.
What the? Now you listen here, you imbecile. I'm standing here because my master pays me a cuntload to do so. That's all. I don't owe that bastard anything. Plus, I'm sure as fuck not a simple man. I'm a bloody adventurer, a libertine, and all this, it's just temporary. Yeah, that's right. It's just temporary.
Yeah, that should be it.
Don't mention it. I probably would have thought it. You know what? Come to think of it, I've been sucking on this bloody vulture's teat for way too long now. Yeah, let him find another merc to do his shitty bidding. I'm done. You go on inside. Just act like you belong. The guards will think you expect it.
Yeah, that should be it.
Walk blessed.
Is my master expecting you? Just go upstairs. He is in his scrippery.
Huh?
Oh, grand. Yet another proof of the notorious reliability of sellswords. I should have known that simpleton was only good for peeling potatoes at best. So, what is it that you want? To mug me? I would seriously think that over, considering my esteemed bodyguard over there. He belongs to the petrified, and I'm sure he would love to demonstrate just what that means. Oh, do you now? You really are a bold one, aren't you? But good. Go ahead. Tell me what you consider to be so important that you just had to sneak into my house without my invitation. What? No, you're mistaken. I have no idea what you're talking about. Now get out of here. I don't give a shit about your sources. Now get lost, preferably to the brothel you escaped from, wench. Kashan, show my guest the way out.